5 seconds. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to a very cold and chilly Brands Hatch. Yes, it is time for qualifying for one of our most favourite championships in motorsport, the BCV8 Championship, about to take to the track. And I certainly can't wait to see the Class C V8. So once again, joining us today is Charles Boniface. You were with us all day yesterday for the MG Cup, the trophy. Now you're here for the BCV8 Championship. And these are going to be a corker, aren't they, Charles? I mean, these are loud.
Yeah, that's it. I'm back, as you said, Ian, well rested today, which makes a change. Yeah, and typical motorsport weekend. I'm back waiting and excited for loads more exciting action as we had yesterday. I mean, we had some brilliant races and some quality performances put in yesterday, and yeah, looking forward to seeing the V8s and seeing what they can also produce.
Yeah, of course, BCV8s, multiple classes as well. Class C are the heavyweight V8s, of course, the MGB V8s, there's GTs in there too. Your Class AB as well in that, we've got David Strike, James Walpole, Jordan Spencer. Your Class B, so your MGB Roadsters, you've got Paul Linfield, Russell McCarthy in there. We do have Stuart Dickinson here as well in an MGA twin cam. He's on his own, by the way, in the invitation class. But in your Class C, we've got James Wheeler, your defending champion as well, overall champion for the BCV8 Championship from last year too. We've got Ben Tovey, Stuart Balfour, Luke Spence, Steve Wells, Chris Greenwood, Oliver Wardle, Ken Deemer, Neil Fowler, Robert Spence, Ian Price, and familiar names to us. We've been with the BCV8s for a fair few years now. Right, so it's the first qualifying session of the season for the BCV8s. Track conditions, Charles, let's have a quick update, because there was a bit of moisture this morning, wasn't there? But it's obviously going to be dry conditions.
Yeah, it seems like it's dry conditions out there. It's a little bit patchy in places, whereas there's still a little bit of moisture on the offline, basically, on the tarmac. But for the most part, it looks like it's basically going to be a taxi dry.
Quite interesting. I just wonder, Leon, if we could put the camera on Graham Hill Benz, this left-hander down here. You made a very good point just on the corner. You see those little two cones popping up there. That's new overnight, isn't it, all down there?
I don't know whether it's new overnight, but it is new this season. I know they've not been there in the past. I did a little track walk last night with some friends. Yeah, you can see you've got two little metal plates on the inside and then the two orange bollards. Normally that would just be a straight green sort of curb. I think that's relatively
basically
new.
Don't cut it is now the new rule.
yeah, it's going to hurt a little bit more if you cut that, and it's just going to try and keep people off Palmer's grass, basically.
Right now, the BCV8 cars are making their way down the pit lane. We're going to head out 15-minute qualifying session. 2 races coming up for you later this afternoon. We want to hear from you as well. As always, please do get in touch with us. Tell us this Sunday morning, where are you watching from? Are you at home? Are you at work? Are you on holiday? Tell us, what are you doing? Comment in the live chat below. Best place to do it is at Live Sport Now on YouTube. There's a link in the body of this broadcast where it says watch both races live. Click that. It'll take you straight through to our YouTube channel. You can watch all of the action there. Do hit subscribe whilst you're there, because we are going to be broadcasting a number of BCV8 Championship races live throughout the course of 2023. So for the first time this season and this year, the BCV8s head out on track in competitive anger, shall we say.
Gotta love the sound of a V8 as well, don't you, Ian? I mean, it's an absolutely wonderful sounding engine.
Yeah, it certainly is. And there is James Wheeler, by the way, leading them out in the yellow #1. Again, look at that, a bit of a power slide from Mr. Wheeler down there. He joined me in our pre-season show on Friday night. That's it. That is across our channels. If you want to go back and watch that and hear from James Wheeler, do go check it out. But this is going to be so entertaining. And again, at any time, if you do want to find out more about the BCV8 Championship, there is also a link in the body of this broadcast. It takes you to the website. But maybe don't bother clicking it until after qualifying is over. 15 minutes coming up. But it's cold, isn't it, Charles, again?
It is very cold, and the wind seems to have picked up compared to yesterday as well, which I don't think will affect these cars too much, but they are heading into a headwind into paddock, which are probably, big moment there from the green one as he was coming through paddock on the brakes. Massive moment from him.
Yeah,
he did well to collect that.
Chris Greenwood or Steve Wells. I think it's Chris Greenwood. I'll have a look in a second as he comes around and I can pick his number up. Yeah, I mean, these make a fine sound, don't they? Early stages of this qualifying session. I'll just get TSL up myself and just have a quick look at where we're going with the runners and riders. 2 races.
Whoa, spinner! Almost. No, he's collected it.
Just kept it on. It's 77 actually, isn't it? Let me see who that is, because I don't have a 77 on my list, believe it or not. So we'll find out who that is. But yeah, they're already finding it quite tricky to get the power down around there. Perhaps there was a bit more grease down there than we thought. It's McAngus, it's Russell McAngus in that number 77 going round. So we've got Wheeler, Dima, Pryor, McAngus, Spence, Ride, Samuels, Farsi and Wells, Greenwood, Strike, Dickinson and McCarthy. So 13 runners and riders here with the BCV8 Championship. Wheeler, the fastest so far, 101.266 in the early stages of this qualifier. Still 12.5 minutes left to go on the clock. Remember, do get in touch with us. Comment below. We can see your comments. We want to hear from you. Tell us, have you watched the BCV8 Championship before? And tell us, where in the world are you watching from? Oh, we have another spinner as well, up round Surtees too.
Yeah, coming through clearways now. He's back on track. Yeah. No harm done by the looks of it. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, we mentioned it quite a lot actually today. There has been quite a lot of oil spill over the course of certainly over yesterday. I mean, will it still be there? I mean, we've had a bit of rain. Surely that might have washed things away a little bit overnight. Potentially
a little bit. It didn't seem too bad last night. Walking around, you couldn't see too much anyway. It was pretty dark, but. Yeah, overnight you'd think some of it would have sort of been washed away, and obviously the marshals have done a brilliant job putting cement dust down yesterday, so I'm sure that would have helped soak it all up as well.
Absolutely, as they always do as well. So at the minute, the man on pole position actually, Charles, is Russ McAngus, the man who's had a couple of spins already as well. He's just done a 58.991. James Wheeler in second with a 59.034. So far, the only two drivers to do a sub 1 minute. Ian Pryor currently in third with a 1 minute 6.45. Then we've got Spence, Dima, Wells, Greenwood, Samuels, Farsi and McCarthy. Chitterden's now out on track. Then Dickinson, Linfield, Ride, Strike, Wardle. We're up to 16 cars circulating the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit here this Sunday morning for qualifying for the BCV8 Championship. Now, interestingly as well, Charles, this is qualifying now. It's quite early, isn't it? It's 10:26 according to my clock. First race of the day for the BCV8 Championship, 4:10. It's quite a gap, isn't it?
It is quite a gap, and it's quite a frustrating gap for the drivers as well. I've had it before where you've had like a relatively early qualifying and then had to wait quite a long time for the first race. And it's hard to sort of keep yourself energised. It's hard to keep yourself in that zone and sort of make sure that you're still driving on point, because you've had such a long wait, such a long delay, such a long build up to actually getting back out on track again. It takes a lot to get yourself, re-energised, refocused, and then ready to go again.
Well, I suppose the flip side of that, though, if you do have a problem in qualifying, you've got plenty of time to get it fixed, haven't you?
Yeah, you do. Sadly, though, that does also mean if you have a problem in the first race, you've got barely any time to get it fixed.
Well, that's very true, because race 2, I think, is 5:30. So basically, you do your race. There's one race in between. We've got yellow flags, and we do have somebody off at the top.
Yeah.
Just gone through. That is at Surtees or McLean's, isn't it? There, just up to the left. Trying to get it reversed and back down the grassy bank. That will be incredibly slippy there. These cars won't have the right tyres to cope. They're doing a bit of rallycross up there.
Yeah, I think he's going to be okay though, and he's kept it out the wall, which is the main thing. Luckily there's a fair bit of runoff up there. So yeah, but he's back on track now, so I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine.
Absolutely, just for your information, Bab McFarsie back in the pits in Class B, so he's popped into the pits. He's currently in 11th place, 11th out of the 16 runners and riders in total. So it's now James Wheeler, the man on provisional pole. He's gone back to the top of the time charts at 56.981. Ian Pryor has moved up to second place. He's actually Class D with a 58.209. Russ McAngus now in third at 58.991. These cars going quicker and quicker and quicker, by the way. It was only 2 minutes ago I said only 2 cars have done a sub 1 minute. Now 8 cars have all gone under the minute mark. So it's Wheeler, Pryor, McAngus, Wardle, Spencer, McCarthy, Wells, Dima, Samuels, Greenwood, Farsi and Dickinson, Linfield, Chittenden, Rides and Strike. They are your 16 current cars out on track for this qualifying session for round 1 here at Brands Hatch of the brand new 2023 season for the BCV8 Championship. Always a nervous time, isn't it? First outing of the season, first qualifying session, because that's where you've really got to start to find the limit of the car, Charles, and all that work over winter. You find out whether it's worked or not, don't you?
Yeah, exactly, and also from a driving perspective, you've got to dust off some of the rust if you've not out been testing. I think that's McAngus there in the 77, absolutely flying.
Yeah, he is. He has gone quicker, but not quickest yet. But he has moved up to second. He's done a 57.652 that time around. Still 1.285 seconds behind. Yes, defending champion and number one, sticking on his car, James Wheeler.
One of the things that's surprising me watching this, Ian, is that how twitchy some of these cars are.
That's not unusual, Charles. That's not unusual.
Well, you'd think that they'd been maybe with the tyres and everything a little bit more stable, but yeah, no, they're very twitchy, and obviously quite a handful for these drivers to have to wrestle with to a certain extent. And you can see Wheeler there coming through Graham Hill bend, making it look very, very easy. The car very settled. There's me talking about twitchy cars, and he makes it look like he's out for a nice Sunday drive on this.
Typical commentators.
Yeah, exactly.
All coming through as well. There goes McAngus in the green 77. Ian Pryor there in the number 91, going very well. Although McAngus, that was McCarthy now. Russell McCarthy's got himself up to third place as well. He's just done a 58.064. So it's Wheeler on provisional pole, McAngus in second. So Wheeler on pole overall and Class C, and McCarthy third, but pole in Class B. Spencer on pole in Class AB as it stands at the minute as well. We've got a Class D for Ian Pryor, but he's the only Class D car. So. And Dickinson is in the invitation on that MGA twin cam, number 36. I'm just trying to see if I can see where it is. There he goes over the line. We'll pick him up shortly. When he comes into your shot, I'll let you know who he is. He's just behind the yellow car up there as well. In fact, he's the only open top car we've got here. Dickinson in that MGA twin cam, the number 36, going up the hill now, as you can see, just going past, heading now into Druids. It's a fine looking machine, isn't it? It just shows that if you don't meet the regulation of Class A or Class C or B or AB, you can come and still race in your own invitational class.
Yeah, and Wheeler out front, absolutely flying. He's got over a second to the next best man.
He's got a second and a half, isn't he? He's just
second and a half now.
55.446 that last time round for Wheeler.
He's clearly done very well, found himself some clean air, and is absolutely making the most of it. So, yeah, I think that'll be one to watch come race time.
He will be. Over the years, James Wheeler, I have to say, one of the nicest blokes you'll ever meet. He's had some rotten luck over the years. I don't think it was obviously not last year because he won the championship, but the year before, every time we'd go out, he'd get about 3 or 4 laps and the car would conk out. A couple of cars coming into the pits as well. Thank you very much for that, Leon. I'll tell you who it's. Babak Fazi is still in the pits, so it's not him because he has gone out and done a lap of 101.425 at the fastest lap so far for Babak Fazi, but he's down in 12th. It is Spencer has just come into the pits from 10th place currently, so Spencer's in the pits. A little bit further down the field, Rides has moved up a place at the expense of Chittenden, so Rides is now up to 15th, Chittenden drops down to 16th, Strike is now 17th, so even more cars now out on track. Your top 17 with 5 minutes to go is this. James Wheeler on provisional pole. Ian Pryor now has gone up to second place. It's constantly chopping and changing, isn't it, between second and third. Spencer is now, well, he got up to third. As soon as I said his name, typical, McAngus goes over and goes third. So it's McAngus in third, Spencer's now in fourth, Wardle's fifth, McCarthy's sixth, Wells is seventh, Deemer is eighth, Greenwood is ninth, Spencer, we've got 2 Spencer, we've got L Spencer and J Spencer. J Spencer is in 10th in the pits, Samuels is 11th, Farsian is 12th in the pits, Dickinson's 13th, Linfield's 14th, Rides is 15th, Chitterden's 16th, and Strike, David Strike is in 17th. David Strike does have a striking livery on his car. He's just going down Paddock Hill now, leading the red car there. As you can see, he's got the checkered flag livery up the side of his car. Looks an absolute corker.
Yeah, for those of you watching the stream, just a moment ago, seeing Wheeler come very slow through Graham Hill. I think what he's done, and that's exactly what he's done, he's made himself a nice bit of space to run into for another flying lap. So doesn't look like he's got an issue at all as he carries quite a bit of speed through Paddock there. So yeah, he's clearly back having another go, full attack mode.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the thing. It looks like Chittenden has got off somewhere. I'm not too sure. I'm not seeing any yellows or anything, so I wonder if he just maybe pulled into the pits in TSL. Has just got his icon wrong, but I'm not seeing his car anywhere. I'm certainly not seeing any yellow flags. So it's saying Chittenden somewhere has pulled up, but I don't know where. If he has pulled up, he's pulled up in a very good place and well out the way, isn't he? So number 163, see if you can see number 163 going away around, because if he is, then it's just a bit of an error of TSL. Dickinson has moved up a couple of places as well, now to 10th place. Samuel's dropped down to 12th. Spencer's dropped down to place 2. Wells has moved up to 6th place. So it's Wheeler, Pryor, McAngus, L. Spencer, Wardle, Wells, McCarthy, Greenwood, Deamer, Dickinson, J. Spencer, Samuels, Farsley and Linfield, Rise, Chicklington and Strike. 17 runners and riders. It's getting there. It's a good, strong field for the BCV8 Championship here today. First race coming up at 4:10. As we said, you can watch that live with us. Make sure you subscribe to Live Sport Now on YouTube. There is a link in the body of this broadcast, so you don't miss any of the BCV8 Championship. And we are back with them next month as well, the 1st of May. Our first ever visit to Castle Combe to bring you the BCV8 Championship live. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I should be joining you for that one as well, Ian. So looking forward to being at Combe myself.
So we've got just over 2 minutes left on the clock. Wheeler is on provisional pole. The gap is coming down though. Ian Pryor is also in the 55s too. So Wheeler at 55.446, Pryor 55.805. That looks like where the big battle is at the minute. 0.359 is the gap. That is all. In Formula 1 terms, that's an age, but club racing not quite so much, is it?
No, not quite so much in club racing terms, but it's still a sizable gap. So he's doing very, very well out in front there. It's getting to that point of qualifying now. People are going to maybe start getting a little bit tired. You know, it doesn't feel like it's very long stood here, but when you're in the car, it both goes in a second and it's taken a lot of concentration. So the drivers just happen to make the most, seeing, you know, are the tyres developing, are they changing at all, are the grip levels getting better as more rubber goes down. The circuit's going to constantly keep evolving. Bit of smoke there on the from 79.
Yeah, 79, but it's like that's Ollie Wardle. Let's hope everything's okay. There is quite a bit of smoke puffing out the back of that still. If you just look at the fast circuit, it's going around McLean's into Surtees now, into Clearways now.
I think that might be some sort of tyre rubbing or something like that, because whenever he's loaded up going through a left-hander, you'll see it come from the right-hand side of the car, which is obviously the part of the car that will be squatting onto that wheel.
He's not feeling anything. There's still blue smoke coming out the back of it, but he did stay out, so either he's not aware of it. I mean, you can smell it, can't you, look?
Oh yeah, there's definitely something coming off the back of that car. You can see it heading up into Druids.
Smoke coming out back. Doesn't seem to be affecting the performance though, because he's still going pretty rapid.
Yeah, he's clearly still going for it, so hopefully it's just something that's not serious.
Now, funny enough, we were talking about the track and drivers getting tired. You're right, it's not a long lap here, it's a short lap, one of the shortest of the season, probably the shortest of the season actually. But like we said, and it's St James that I touched on, there's no rest here though. No. Despite it being a short lap, there is no rest. You go around Silverstone, you've got big straights, and not that you can like take your eye off the ball, but you've got times where you can just rest the neck a little bit, just chill out a little bit. Whereas here, there are no straights. Like literally, I mean, the Cooper straight here, even that's not really a straight. The start-finish line is a constant right-hander, isn't it? There are no actual straights. You're constantly working the wheel.
Yeah, exactly that. There's no actual straights, as you said, and even with the short straights that you do have, you're either using that time to check your mirrors, change gear, and prepare yourself ready for the next corner, whether that be spotting out braking points or turning points or whatever it may be. So yeah.
So Charles, the checker flag is out, so these are now the last chances for in fact a lot of people have just pulled the plug anyway, haven't they? I think last few cars going, Ian Pryor is just going over the line. Can he improve? Last opportunity? No, he can't. So we're just waiting for McAngus to go over the line. Number 77, the last driver really, even he was 1.5 seconds behind Wheeler. Last opportunity, he's just coming over the start-finish line now. What can he do? Number 77, currently is third, stays third. So the checkered flag has fallen for this qualifying session. Let's pop TSL up onto the screen so you can see for yourself how things have finished in this qualifying session. James Wheeler, congratulations. He's on pole position outright in Class C and outright for the race. Ian Pryor in second, McAngus in third. We've got L. Spencer, good qualifying, in fourth. Wardle is in fifth. Wells is sixth. McCarthy in seventh. Deamer is 8th, Greenwood is 9th, Samuels is 10th, Dickinson is 11th, J. Spencer's 12th, Linfield is 13th, Farsley He's fourth. I wonder if Maverick Fazian's had a problem because he's been in the pits for well over half this session. Rides is 15th, Chittenden 16th, and David Strike in 17th place. Rightio, that is how things have finished for this BCV8 qualifying session. Let's take TSL down so you can see our faces. Really sorry about that. Don't forget, coming up a little bit later, we will have our exclusive behind the scenes paddock walk too, so you can hear from the drivers as well before race 1. And then, of course, we're going to bring you both races live. We're going to start it in the assembly area again, so you will see the drivers up close and personal. 2 races, the first one 10:04, second one roughly about 5:30, although we're probably going to be running a little bit ahead of schedule. We were yesterday, despite numerous red flags, so great job by everybody here, actually, the marshals and those in race control, to get the job done quickly. Right, don't forget, if you do want to find out more about the BCV8 Championship, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. Do give it a click. At the end of this, we're going to pop up a QR code as well, so get your phones out, scan it, take you straight through to the website. But don't forget to watch those 2 races. Live Sport Now on YouTube is the best place to do it, because if you comment in a live chat, we can see it and show it on screen. So make sure you get your support in for the drivers. We do know they do go back and watch it, so if you say something nice, they will see it. Charles, should we go get a cup of coffee, because it's freezing up
it's
here?
It's very cold, yeah.
Coming up the rest of today, that's the BCV8. We do have the MG Trophy Championship race 2, and the MG Cup race 2 coming up as well, live across Live Sport Now and the MG Car Club channel. So a lot of motorsport action to bring you today. We're going to go get ourselves a coffee because it is freezing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.